Our number one story for 2018 in review is actually 2019 election in focus, and the winner takes it all. Now, although there are many contenders in the presidential election, this fight is basically between bringing back the old order, which is the PDP, or continuing with the status quo, which is the APC. However, there is a twist because we do have new political entrants vying for the presidential position. To name a few of them, Obi Ezekwesili of ACPN, Kingsley Moghalu, YPP, Feladuro Toye, ANN, and Omoyele Showore, AACC, and many others. And of course, we do have Bankole Wellington, who is running for the Federal House of Representatives. And all of these are categorized as the new entrants into the political arena. So, 2019 in focus. The winner takes it all. Where are we? Are Nigerians prepared? Do we even have the right candidates?
I don't think we do. At least not in the front burner. Of the best of this, I've listened to many of them.
Of this motley crew.
I've listened to many of them, and I mean, Obi Ezekwesili seems to have good intentions. She seems to she's well intentioned to want to take the office. But the person I see who understands the issues the most, and of course everybody will say that to every hammer, that every nail, to every, well, I don't know how that's put, but you look at it from the perspective that maybe I'm looking at it from the economy-ish perspective.
Which
because
is a good way to look at it.
Because I have my own,
in, right?
So Moghalu is the one person that understands the issues. Will he be able to do it if he gets to the office is a different issue altogether, but I know he understands the issues. Because if you want to move Nigeria forward, you get that nothing is working. Not power, not healthcare, not education, not security, not infrastructure.
Nothing is working.
Nothing is working. And you can't. You know, some people have said,
none of which have worked in a very long time.
And some people have said, you know, let's just come in and we'll say, okay, we want to focus on power. They will just know we want to focus on power 4 years. So what happens to the other parts? You can't do one and leave the rest. You have to do it in a holistic manner to which, so the federal government keeps patting itself on the back that we've been fixing infrastructure. Nigeria has a $7 trillion deficit when it comes to infrastructure.
Which is a whole lot.
You don't have that money. There's no how you are going to raise that money from the government coffers. If you like, open the ground and
dig out money.
Scoop it out. You need...
I mean, just put that in context. There are only two economies in the world that are larger than $7 trillion. Only two.
You get scoop it out. Now the context to it is that you need a situation whereby the person has a broad mind enough to know that, first of all, we can't do it.
Yeah.
2, the government cannot do everything. 3, the government shouldn't be involved in everything. And 4, who do we go to meet with? Who can fix it? And how are we able to allow them fix it without interfering? So for me, we need strong industrialization in Nigeria where everything is pulling themselves together. Some people point to the men who built America. I don't know if you see that documentary. And they say, these are the people that built America. I said, in Nigeria, it is not possible to have those kind of men, except, of course, they are Dangote.
So, Wofai, let me ask you, is it possible for the new entrants into the political climate, taking their position in 2019?
For them to cause an upset?
It's very difficult. It's a very difficult possibility. If at all it's possible, it will cause a disruption, so to speak. But it would seem, again, I was almost going to raise an issue earlier with a certain opinion that Tunji had shared here, and it was about the fact that we had simply premised success or otherwise of any candidate in this election on how well they articulate their ideologies or their plans for the economy. But it's not as simple as that. The factors which would determine victory for anybody in this election, let's not forget that we still have to deal with a large section. There are just very few of us Nigerians who understand these issues and who are privileged to be at places where these issues are discussed, and we have the receptacles for hearing them and listening to them and seeing them. But what happens to the large majority of Nigerians who occupy apparently the more rural area and those people who do not have connection, so to speak, with the urban areas? So this election is not one which would be determined by the capacity, the qualification otherwise of the said candidates. It is one which will be determined by the capacity and the resources of those who are running for.
Oh, that I totally
brings
agree.
us back to the question of stomach infrastructure, which has always been a problem. It's some sort of vote buying. We've always been involved and engaged in vote buying for the time since our political journey in this dispensation started. So that's the problem that we're going to be grappling with.
Right.
So that if this set of people are going to want to displace the order, how well can they rig the big guys?
Is that the question? But the question
Rigging, not
the
rigging in the
question
sense of
the
the
question
actual-
he asked for me was who's best qualified, and that's what I
Do we even
answered.
have anyone?
No,
who's
but
best qualified?
I think
Of the lot, it's clear.
Well,
I
no,
mean,
what Tunji is saying is that
of this lot.
if you break down what we need when it comes to economy, which is one of our biggest needs, right?
Mhm.
That we need is Mogalu, and you can tell his
Oh,
background.
yeah, that's
his
his strength.
background is
That's his
economy.
strength.
It comes from the CBN, yada yada yada. His background is economy. For me, I would prefer. Let's not look at the two.
Oh yes, that's
The
why
two
I
old
said let's
boys.
take
I'm
Yeah.
going to put the two old boys aside because it's a given that Buhari is going to win. So let's not discuss.
That's a
It's-
prediction.
Absolutely, I stand by it. Buhari will win. You will be saying President Buhari this time. In fact, what
That's
are we
because
talking
that's
about?
we are supposed
What are
to
we
be
in now?
doing. So
February.
that's the
We're in
same
January.
thing.
39
February,
days.
March. In a few, you will be saying President
39
Muhammadu Buhari. So let's just get used to that and repeat it. It might hurt, but feel free to repeat it and let it come out of your body, as painful as it might be. Now, so let's go to the newbies. You
Okay.
know, the newbies. I'd like to look at the newbies. I was quite excited when Obi Ezekwesili joined the race.
Yeah, I was too.
You know, we needed a female. It's a shame. There's another female in there. What is her name? Remind me of her
the
name.
young
Not-
She
chap-
speaks several
Not
languages.
just Obi.
What's her
Obi is
name?
not just a
Oh,
female.
yes,
Obi is a competent.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Competent.
But
As
the
in
other- even
far
the-
better
Obi-
than many of the candidates. As in,
Yeah.
if
Obi
not
has,
all.
you're very correct, Tunji. Obi has an excellent CV,
Yeah.
right? One of the things that I love about her is she's a fearless troublemaker. And I really do
Boom.
believe that.
And she's my
Every
alumni,
smart
so I
woman,
support her.
every smart woman should be a fearless troublemaker. I put my hand up to being one. There's also another female in this race. I've forgotten her name. She speaks several languages. I've forgotten her name now. It's a shame she's not here, but I think somehow along the line, she's been, she's kind of been pushed down. But what's exciting about the whole 2019 election is, look, we have more young candidates come out.
Right.
We had more female candidates come out. We had many candidates newbies, lots of newbies, who have never thought of going into politics before come out. And I think for me, that's uplifting, that's exciting. I don't really want to talk about, because it's no point in talking about who's, look at what's his name, Showore, that's Sahara Reporters. This is a man that was constantly criticizing the government. He has a platform by which he can do it. And he's here saying, look, I've been criticizing for a long time. Now I'm going to put my head above the parapet. I'm going to put my hand out there and say, you know what? If I've been saying that if we can do better, let me try and do better. He might not be able to, but it's an exciting time for us. And we must clap for ourselves as Nigerians because we're moving.
That we're maturing.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
maturing. We're
Yes.
moving
So
into a different
we see
era.
a good number of newbies coming out to say, listen, we need to change the order.
Yeah, we
Are
need to
we
flip the
likely
narrative.
to see a good number of the electorates actually coming out to cast their votes in 2019?
Okay, so at the local
That's a whole
levels,
different question.
at the local levels, I did. So I live in Etiosa.
Yeah.
and Banky
Yeah,
is
Banky is running
running
for
for
our
House of Reps in
House of
Etiosa.
Reps, yes.
And so the great thing about it is that he knew, at least, maybe, I don't know if he knows directly, but at least I mentioned that I was going to vote for him in the coming elections, and he retweeted that. But aside that, I've asked people around. They usually don't know who it is that is representing
And it's
them.
local elections
Exactly.
that matter directly
And this is the
to your
first time.
lives
This is the
more.
first time I'm explaining to them that, okay, look at this person, so they know him as the musician, right? But I'm like, he's a little bit more than a musician. This is his CV. This is where he went to school in. He really shouldn't be doing this. You understand? He has nothing to gain from doing this. And these are the kind of people.
I disagree with. I always disagree with that when people say, I have nothing to gain from joining. Actually, you do. It's a job.
Oh, I get that.
It's a job.
I get that. I mean, I'm speaking about
You're
it from
saying
the
that
perspective
from a
of
personal,
personal and an income perspective.
Yes, yeah, because
obviously when he's in
the true
office, he
income is
cannot
very low.
go and
He
do
no, the true
Coachella.
income of the average commissioner.
The true income,
the
yeah,
income is very low. Very
So
low.
that is a step down in terms of income. But this is someone who we can definitely take possible issues to. And this is somebody I've listened to his manifesto concerning Etiosa. His manifesto speaks to at least some reform around Etiosa, at least his own constituency, and maybe I don't know what he has in terms of taking to the national level, but at least in terms of Etiosa itself, because that's what we want. That's the kind of change we want.
For him to come and you say, I'm in Etiosa.
Yeah.
I don't know whether he's knocked on your gate. I'm still waiting for him to come and knock
Mr.
on my
Ireti,
gate.
I told him, as in this I at least Bankole, I said it. I told you, I told him, dude, we need to go to every.
Bankole, I haven't seen you. You
See,
haven't
door to
done
door is even a
that
big
yet.
one. Door to door is a big one. The landlord association meeting.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
They hold every
Exactly.
sanitation day.
Yes.
Go around, introduce yourself, tell them this is what I do, this is what I'm running for.
The same mechanism that was adopted during
that's what won 2015.
Yes.
He even won
Elections.
2015. He won for Jonathan. He won for 2015. Look, in any election, especially the way, we haven't got time to discuss the way elections are won in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But in any election, door-to-door canvassing is the most powerful.
Yeah.
They use it in the UK. They use it in America. I want to see Banky W coming to knock at my gate, my next door's gate, and saying, look, I need your vote. This is what I plan to do. Yada, yada, yada. I haven't seen
and
it.
you know the people,
it.
I'm really concerned about those people who have direct relationship with my existence, with my water supply, with my security,
With the things that
concern me, immediate environment, I'm hoping that every Nigerian can be that concerned about their own environment, so that they can hold those people accountable, from your local government, local council, the councillor to the local government chairman, to the state House of Rep, to the federal House of Rep, that even the senator that is looking over your.
Be a troublemaker in your local.
Exactly, so that you can demand for better.
Yeah, but a good troublemaker.
It doesn't matter if
my local chairman, the woman who likes to put her picture all over the place. Before she started to put her picture all over the place, when she was still just, I was like, sorry, this is what's going on. We need to have a meeting. And she used to think, this English-speaking girl, and I got everybody together, literally on our road. We all got together because they wanted us to clean the roads, and I'm like, I do not have to clean the roads. Why am I paying you for?
Yeah.
I refuse to do that. So they got all of us together, and she literally had to. I'm not joking. She literally had to sell her story to us and convince us why we should support her. That's how you hold your people accountable.
Yeah.
Demand your right.
Holding people accountable, I'm sure there will be a lot more coming out of the elections this year, 2019. Well, that's the review of top stories that made headlines in 2018. I would like to say a big thank you to Ms. Ireti Bakare for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you also, Wofai Jimmy
you very
Roberts,
much for
and of
having me.
course, Ikemesit Effiong.
Pleasure.
It was nice having you here, and not also forgetting to say a big thank you to Tunji Andrews. Right, from everyone, we wish you a great 2019. I am Henry Ikechukwu. See you again.